taking their children back to school, the best of what they can do. Now, from all that, let's get to the conversation of this morning's discussion. And with me in studios is Ms. Shakila Rahim. She is the Corporate Affairs and Public Relations Manager from the Uganda National Airlines, or Uganda Airlines. You're very welcome, Shakila.
Thank you very much.
Happy to have you. Happy New Year and welcome to BC.
Happy New Year to you too. Greetings from Uganda Airlines.
Thank you very much. Have you been here before?
No.
No. Are you excited that you're here this morning?
Yes.
Well, that's very lovely.
Yes.
Uganda Airlines, let's start with that. Uganda Airlines, how is business there and what is it like?
We are up and running now. Remember we had a bump, well, the last week of December. We suspended our operations or flights to Dubai, but now at least we have a window of opportunity to start flying our passengers to Dubai again. Well, Uganda Airlines is great. Okay. Cargo operations have been in full swing, they say, even if we've been shut down, but cargo operations have been moving. I've been really doing very well. Okay.
Yes. Well, that's important. Let's start with Uganda Airlines and how they're managing and navigating through the COVID-19 environment, yes. Because we had actually just gotten our airlines back in the skies, and of course COVID-19 hit, and for a very long time with all the disruptions that it's also brought. Talk to us about how you are navigating through the COVID-19 environment.
Yes, for the aviation industry, because it's an experience for a traveler, for a passenger to travel, and it's a passenger has to be in contact with the other, service providers, for example, ticketing agents. It's a journey. Then you go to the airport, then you meet so many people. So you find that there's a lot of transmission of the disease. So what we've done, because aviation has suffered really, so what we've done is that we've put stringent mechanisms in place. We've adhered to Ministry of Health SOPs, testing our crew members or our staff, making sure that they are vaccinated, sanitizing our cabins, and then also reminding our passengers the need to take personal responsibility for vaccination, for staying safe, for traveling with their sanitizer, or when they're coming on board, to be able to sanitize, and also to be very careful and also mask up at any time in the airport and on the aircraft.
You're doing all those now. Let's look at Uganda Airlines. Of course, we started operations. You started operations in August 2018. I want to think so. And how have you been progressing, especially through this COVID year 2021? Because 2020 was a little harder, but 2021 was you were allowed to operate. There were a few things here and there. How's the progress been for 2021? And what prospects do you have from here going forward?
Actually, maybe to just take it back a bit, also the measures we've taken, is that we've also made our strategy agile. We've restricted some things. For example, we cut back on flights, like the Nairobi route. It was 4 times, but now it's 2 in morning and evening. So I found that such strategies have, of course, we've been taken aback, but at least it helps us to be able to manage operation-wise. Then when you look at our start in 2019, it started off well, and then COVID hit, and then after that we embarked on bringing back our people, the citizens from different parts of the world. So even when the world was shut down, we were able to bring in our people back in the country, and then also try to bring in drugs and other requirements for the COVID-19 situation, to manage the situation. Then after that, in 2021, when we got back into operations, we had a very good year, I would say. We started off with launching our flights in Joburg, then also in Dubai, and then also we displayed our Airbus 330 in Dubai for the air show. So we were really pretty good that we were able to participate in that. So I would say we've had a very good year. And also we got our license last year to start cargo operations. Yes.
Okay, what about the long haul flights? flights that majority of the people are talking about, and you've promised us those. How prepared and how ready are you as an airline to get us going on those?
Preparation, yes. You know, sometimes in operations, running such a big operation, sometimes you think you're ready and you're not, but I think we're almost ready, because we're looking at the next 4 to 5 months to be able to have our maiden flight to London. And then in between that also we're looking at Mumbai. So we are working on feasibility studies. They'll happen very soon in London and Mumbai. And then after that, when we've got clearance, we will start preparations. But currently we're trying to recruit, we're trying to work with different suppliers. Then we're also looking at different partnerships to provide different services for us.
What informs the decisions for the destinations? You talk about London, you talk about Mumbai. What informs these decisions for you to say that's where you're going? And they will tell you the other day that we have so many Ugandans who go to Guangzhou, who go to maybe elsewhere. How do you choose on the destinations?
Still the feasibility study informs you, because for example, right now we don't have a direct flight to London, and we all know we have so many Ugandans in the UK. First of all, we have so many students in the UK. Our vegetables, because you know Uganda is an agriculture country, so our vegetables, coffee, matoke, any kind of vegetables, and also business. The businessmen who want to go, for example, on Monday, come back maybe Friday, you know, just have 4 days and then come back. So you find, and also school, also visiting family and friends. You can't imagine what a direct flight means from Uganda to the UK, 7 to 8 hours, and you're there. So I think there is like excitement there. Yeah, and then also we are looking at what it means for cargo. If we have a direct flight, we'll be able to take all the agricultural produce to London and come back, and also bring back. Then also China, the same thing. China will go and pick up and bring in, and that's very good revenue for the country.
Okay, pre-COVID era, there were lots of challenges with the aviation industry, and of course, as we know, all our concentration is on COVID-19. We're trying to see how to manage COVID-19. You talked about vaccinations. Of course, now when you get to the airport, it's or your PCR, the test and fly, etc., masking up, sanitization, and doing all the things. But of course, there are the other issues that still happen or are still embedded in the industry. Talk about the global congestion, talk about passengers' comfort, talk about terrorism, talk about issues of fuel efficiency, and quite several other things. The global economy itself, and many things. I just do not know what Ugandan National Airlines is thinking about those others, away from being compliant to the COVID protocols.
Yes, we are renewing ourselves every day. For example, to give the customer the best experience that they need, because our brand positioning is a different one. We are selling something different. The warmness of Ugandans, the culture, the hospitality. When you fly with us, definitely you want to fly with us again. It is the food, if the smile when you get on board, it is the happiness, it is us celebrating the passenger, number one. Number two, our aircrafts are new, so they're efficient, and our carbon footprint is less, because we're working with the newest technology. For example, even the Airbus, less noise, the engine is modern, fuel efficiency. So I find that those things are positioning us to on a global stage, to deal with the issues that emerge with climate change and all these things. Then also we want to introduce our loyalty program. It will give us client retention. You find that you will be able to fly with us and then also benefit. Yes, so which means we have also a lot of work to do in that area.
Okay.
Yes.
I had a colleague actually who traveled, I think, to Dubai not so long ago. Sometime I think before we had again these issues of suspending your flights to Dubai, and that issues of late flights. One of the things that we know with the aviation industry is time management, and you've had fallen short of managing time every well. How do you make up for this, and how do you assure your clients that going forward they will have a seamless and of course timely flights as planned or as scheduled, without having these hiccups of delays?
Yes, being a new airline, sometimes we'll find a bit of issues here and there at different airports, but still we're learning from these things, and for us it's safety first. So when we land, the equipment is supposed to be checked and supposed to make sure that everything is in place. But for the delays, still they've been reported, and we're learning from that. Yes.
As an infant airline, I'll call it infant because we're just beginning. I do not want to look at Uganda Airlines like I see Etihad or Ethiopian Airlines or all these others, KQ and etc. I just want to know from you. We could talk about all the good things that the airline is offering and giving to us, the good vessels that we have flying up there, and quite a number of things. But what are the embedding challenges that the airline is facing? Let's first know that if I understand that Uganda Airlines has got a challenge X, Y, and Z, so when I get there and find something that possibly is not the best for me, I can actually appreciate and say, with everything good, but they also have this challenge. What are these eminent challenges that you're going through as a young airline?
Yeah, like first of all, it's COVID, the environment. That's the number one now. We can't even say that we are short of this or that, but it's COVID now. Because every time we build up the momentum, something happens. And when something happens, operations are paralyzed. So you have to take back and learn and then implement. So you find that COVID has disrupted, but still we're trying to navigate and go over that so that we can have seamless operations. COVID happens, the costs will be huge because testing, staff, sanitizing the aircraft, so many things, the timing. Of course, for example, I would tell you, Dubai, we have to test 48 hours, okay? Then 6 hours at the airport, right? So I find that if we have a connection from Burundi, someone from Burundi would like to fly to Entebbe, okay? And then travel to Dubai, but they cannot beat that timeline. You get it? Someone would like to come from Mombasa to Entebbe, then fly to Dubai, but they cannot. So there is a gap there, you're losing something.
Okay, very important. Now, somebody just sent me a quote here. He's just sent me a quote here, and he says, the current market can support an airline, but we do not have the culture and the discipline to run an airline. And this quotation was said by